saying that a little bit.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. Well, hello and welcome everyone to Meet the Streamer yet again. Bi-weekly. Yet again. And on episode 13, Meet the Streamer, of course, this is our, again, bi-weekly show where we take streamers from the Borderlands community and ask them some questions, have some banter, have some fun. You know how it is. Tonight, whatever time it may be, we have two wonderful guests yet again. Wow. It's almost like a pattern. And I'd like to introduce the first one of them. Here is BedlamBryan. Say hello.
Hello. I was about to say, Tuner, you got a lot prettier, Tuner.
A shave.
I was like, wow.
This didn't happen.
You've done something with your hair.
Yeah, we keep the good things for last.
This name thingy didn't happen at all. Let's keep it at that. And while we at it, our second guest today is MarineTuner. Nice to be here. Welcome. Hi.
Hey, thank you.
Okay, and we're gonna go ahead and go with the first question to you guys. What got you into Borderlands? You can start whichever of you want to start.
Want me to go first?
Rock, paper, scissors, whatever.
Bedlam, you go.
Okay, so what got me into Borderlands? I have a son. My son streams right now, and it was a way for me to so that was a way for me to connect with him. So when he was a little kid, he started to get older. We just kind of start drifting apart as your kid starts getting. So as your kid starts getting older, he starts drifting apart. And I always played like esports games, so game day and that kind of thing. And he was really into Borderlands, and so that was how we connected. I figured I would meet him wherever he was, and he was playing Borderlands. I'm like, okay, well, let's play Borderlands together. And that was a way we could connect. And since I'm divorced and he was living with his mother, we always talked over Steam and played over Steam and connected about what was happening during the day and whatever, if he was dealing with bullies or if he was having girl problems or whatever it was, so that was how we connected, playing over Borderlands. That's how we connected. That's how I got into it. So it's a special franchise for me. It has a lot of fond memories, and I'm sentimental about it. I love the franchise so much.
Man, that's way more wholesome than I expected it to be.
That's a good start.
Make me cry in front of all the people.
Yeah. Mine's not nearly. I just literally found the game at like Walmart or something and started playing it and fell in love with it because I got tired of playing what was it, Gears of War. And I have been playing it since the first one.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
So good. So many guns.
Yeah.
So all the way up to the third part, huh? All the games in the series?
All the game, like I said before, I only played the pre-sequel like halfway through before I got tired of it and just put it down. And then what is it? The Borderlands: The Telltale Story, like. I don't know if we should say spoiler or anything, but what happened to Scooter? Like, I had no idea because my daughter played that. I didn't touch it. And she played it, and I'm like, what happened to Scooter? Where's Scooter?
Where's my favorite mechanic? Where is
I had to go Google it. I'm like, what happened to him?
I can't wait to see him in this cool new game.
I remember when the Borderlands 3 was released and people who never played Tales were like, oh, Tales, whatever, it's not important to the story, right? And they start like, hey, where's Scooter? Why does Ellie have this picture? And what happened to him? Then they played Tales. I was like, no. And they didn't know for a couple of years since it happened.
Oh my gosh, spoilers.
Yeah.
Especially if they didn't play like the Fight for Sanctuary DLC, because many people didn't. So I mean, there are side missions in there, a lot of indicators that he is,
That's honestly, what made me go and look it up. Is I'm like, Scooter, what happened to Scooter? And then I went and found it on like YouTube or something, and I'm like, he went out in the most Scooter way possible.
He just catch a ride, the ride of his life.
He caught the ride.
Well, it's
gonna like a pro.
Yeah, it's gonna get a little dark, but while we're on the subject of deaths, what was the most hilarious death you ever had in any of the Borderlands games?
I've actually got it. I've got it clipped, and it was through no fault of my own because as Bullseye or Jay or anybody else that plays with me on a regular basis,
you can drop it in the chat in the meantime.
Huh?
Yeah. You can drop it in the chat in the meantime if you have it like prepared, or just later. the clip, the link to the clip.
Oh, okay. I'll see if I can find it. But it's basically I was playing Arms Race, and it was the area leading up to the Plasma Cold Dark Army, and somebody had revived me, and one of the badasses with the hammer came in and slammed on the ground next to me, and before I could even move, I was already going over the edge and just immediately died again.
For you, Brent?
Oh, so playing with my son. So all right, I was a young dad. All right, so I mean, I was literally like when he was born, I was like 20. So I'm still kind of growing up here, so I like to troll him in video games sometimes, you know. So it was like, so we were playing, and you know, in some part of the game, it looks really realistic when you look down like off the side of the map, right? Like you see like camps and that kind of thing and stuff. Like this is the first one, and you know, so I'm like, hey, I was like, Bryan, go down there and check that out. I think there's a mission down there. He's like, you sure? I'm like, yeah, totally. Just run down there. And he just like ran like right off the map.
Okay.
And I died. It was hilarious. It's hilarious. I died laughing. It was hysterical. So, you know, and so he thought it would be really funny. He gets Sledge's shotgun. And he's like, Dad, he's like, hey, do me a favor. I want to see what'll happen. Will you go jump up and down in front of and right at the edge of the cliff there, jump up and down? And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, just stand at the edge of the cliff and jump up and down. And I'm like, why am I jumping? He's like, just do it. I'm like, fine. So I start jumping up and down. He shoots me with Sledge's shotgun, and I like rocket off the map. Like I'm like, okay, fair enough. It was like touche, and he laughed hysterically. So that's probably the funniest way I've died, is being shot off of the map by my son with Sledge's shotgun. Definitely, that's the most memorable way.
I guess worth it.
Yeah,
Definitely worth it.
Totally.
You know,
I mean, whatever happened to that, right? Gosh, that was so fun that you could do that to people.
Yeah,
and of course, once I knew you could do that, I did it to everybody.
Yeah, man. Just, you know, sometimes for the best stuff, you just need to be just a little bit gullible, you know, because why else would you just go to the ledge and jump up and down? I mean, it's not like it's trick a secret bomb or something.
I didn't know it would happen. I didn't know that would happen, right? You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know. I'm like, fine, I'll humor you. And, you know, so I did. And then he shot me off the edge of the cliff. That happened. He's very proud of himself. To this day, he still laughs at me for that. I mean, so it was totally worth it.
All the guns with friendly fire have this effect when you try them first time. I remember I used Scoville for the first time and I didn't know what to do, and I used it in a very close space, and that was a very harsh lesson that I remembered forever with it as well.
Man, this also totally reminds me of like this one time back when, like, I think Destiny 2 Forsaken came out. I don't know if any of you played Destiny, but basically they got new subclasses. And like one of them had like the warlock like charge a grenade, and he just flung out like little mini grenades that did a lot of damage. And they had like a bug at the beginning where if the explosions that they caused at the ground would be friendly fire. So I was always like, hey dude, come here. Okay, look at this.
That's the best,
and he was
dude.
gone.
That's the best. And, you know,
like,
those are
memories.
so often. Those are memories that we'll have forever, and that's what I'm talking about. You know, we bonded over that kind of thing, and those are memories that he'll have when he's like, when we're old. You know, we're gonna have those memories. But yeah, that's hysterical. It's hysterical, and yeah, the series is important, and that's actually how I got my wife Damsel into gaming as well, as with the Borderlands franchise. So got the whole family involved.
Yeah, Borderlands. It's fun for the whole family.
I mean, it really is. And you know, she real quick. So she felt left out. So she was like, and my son and I are playing, and she's like, just quit. It's just a game. Just quit. I'm like, okay, A, it's not just a game. B, B, you can't just quit. I'm like, we've been fighting through this area for like an hour, and if I stop now, you know, then when we come back, we'll have to fight through it again to get where we're. So I'm like, and she didn't understand. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna buy the game. You can start playing, and then you'll see. So now she totally gets it, and now she gets the whole playing for hours on end thing.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
But moving on, you know, since we now heard what got you guys into Borderlands, I would be more interested in what got you into streaming. Was it what inspired you to just one day just start streaming, put on the camera, and go?
Go, Tuner.
You
It's
want
your
me to
turn.
go?
Go.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my
I mean,
turn.
I'll go
I
first.
mean, you
want
can
me to go,
stay,
I mean,
but
I
we
feel
would
No,
like
no,
to answer.
No. I can go. So with COVID hitting, I was having to go into my work a couple days a week, and I started putting Twitch on for background noise because I'm the only one there. I had no one to talk to, so I would put that on for background noise, do what I need to do. It's actually how I discovered Jay and a couple of other streamers. And once fall started to hit here, it's no secret among my real life friends that I hate the cold. Like I absolutely, you can't get me outside if it's
Understandable.
below 40 degrees at all. So I needed something to fill the time, and so I just started streaming Borderlands, and it honestly it took off more than I ever thought it would. Even after doing it for a couple of months, it was a lot farther than I thought it would ever go. And now there's days that I come home from work and immediately start streaming because I just look forward to it. Coming into the warmer months, though, it's no secret that I also own a Jeep, and I do abuse the hell out of that thing. So I'm hoping, at the very least, streaming will help me not break my Jeep nearly as often. To save on repairs, because I've had to make some extensive ones here recently.
Oh, my turn.
Your
Yeah.
turn.
Oh, so well, again, yeah. So for me, Twitch was not a thing for me. Like I barely knew this existed until, gosh, I guess it's been about 7 or 8 months now. I don't really count the first couple months because I didn't really do anything with it. I didn't take it seriously. But then my son called and he's like, "Hey, look, I'm streaming video games." He's like, "I'd like to do this, and I would appreciate if you'd support me doing it." I'm like, "Oh, okay. I'll go do what I can." I figure, go give it a shot. He's in college, and rather than get a job, and he's like, I feel like I can do this. I'm like, okay, I'll do that. Let's give it some time and see what you can do. So I went to go follow him. And he's like, you'd be really good at this. Why don't you do this? I'm like, come on. I'm like, who's gonna want to watch me play video games? Who's gonna want to do this? He's like, no, really. He's like, you're really entertaining. It's really good. And back in the day, we played On Live. I don't know if anybody remembers On Live, but On Live was kind of like Google Stadia, or it's like an online gaming platform. And we actually had so many people watching us play that they would crash the game, and we'd have to like restart or limit people watching us play. So he's like, why don't you do this? I'm like, I don't know. So I did, and kind of like Tuner, I mean, it just kind of took off a lot. I just didn't think, I can't even imagine. It blows me away. I'm so humbled when people want to hang out and play video games with me, and I don't know, it's special. So I'm amazed. I'm still amazed, but that's how I got started.
Not bad. So basically 2 times getting into the thing, like more out of happenstances and being exposed to it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I didn't even know this was a thing. I'm amazed that this is a whole subculture. It's amazing, and more people need to know about it. Like, I guess there are millions of people, but there's so many people in the world who don't know about Twitch or know about streaming, and wow, it's unbelievable. I think it's really it's the evolution of media as we know it, where you can interact with people live and influence like what they're saying and what they're streaming and what they're doing live in game or in performances and music or whatever. I think this is where entertainment is heading in the future, especially as broadband internet becomes more widely spread in the United States.
Yeah, that was the other thing for me, is I actually own the game on console and PC, and I can't remember the last time that I've actually played it on the console, because a lot of my friends, they just didn't like the game. But I came over to Twitch, and all of a sudden I've got a whole lot more people to play Borderlands with, and streaming it. Like I've always said in my stream, I'm not good at this game. I feel like I'm okay with it, but it's always fun to, at least to me, and I've seen Bedlam doing it a lot more too, is playing with other people, viewers, other streamers. I mean, it's
yeah, man.
I mean, it's not always about
It's
being
usually
good in the game. It's about entertainment you provide, right? Because
Also, like, people
Yeah.
come
Yeah.
for you and not the game. It's like this is like lesson number 2 I had to learn. Switch.
Yeah, right.
Mm.
Yeah. And I mean, I love playing with people. I think it's a blast. I really do. I think it's a good time. And, so they get a chance to play with me. And, I mean, I played a lot more than most people do. So maybe there's parts of the map they can't get through. Maybe they can't finish arms race runs. And, so they get a chance to get in there themselves. It is kind of funny, though, because when I've done that, yeah, I laugh because at the end, you see some of the people that jump in and they get all of a sudden, they get like, I don't know. They get overwhelmed by all the loot on the ground, and then they're like loot vacuums. People are dropping stuff, and they're like,
Ooh, gold.
You look down, you're like,
Free
you're like,
items.
whoa,
Yeah.
where did the loot go? Yeah. It's
Yeah.
Whoa.
funny.
With
Yeah.
current loot
Loot is
drops,
company,
you
man.
find
It's all
anything.
mine.
That's funny. Okay, go ahead. I'm done.
I like little anecdotes like not many people like that streaming is the future and not many people like it. However, I would reckon actually a lot of people know about streaming, but only conceptually and only on the surface. Like when people say streaming, like they first think about like this one streamer Ninja or this one streamer XQC or something.
Mhm.
And usually the more controversial figures are like, oh, isn't this the place where they do the whirlpool porn streams or something? Like,
Mm.
and yeah, like, but I think it should be that like the small cultures on Twitch are the important ones. Like, the people who don't rake in like 31,000 views every stream, but more like those between like 10 and like 250, like the smaller creators on the platform. Like those are, I think, would make the foundation of everything.
I think
Just
there's
somewhat-
just something in the middle because I mean at this point streaming platforms in general like kinda replacing TV at some point because you can find they're everywhere. People playing games, people, for example, in the Let's Talk category of Twitch, you can find people who are entertainers, who are like making a comedy, who are singing, doing all other stuff. So you can find anywhere on this platform, anything on this platform that you are interested in. And the smaller streamers gather more like family-like kind of community because people feel so close. But some streamers just blow and like get super big at some point, and they still can create an awesome community even if they're big. It's harder to
I'm
maintain.
holding the hot tub stream in my back pocket. I mean, if
Oh.
things starts, we start losing viewers, then I'm gonna have to pull out the bikini in the hot tub stream. I'm gonna start trying on bikinis and maybe speedos.
I've joked around that I would do a bear onesie hot tub stream.
See, we need to talk about this
Drown in
because
that
I
thing,
was
man.
talking with my friends lately, and they said I should do a hot tub stream, but as a shit poster, instead of having like some bikini, I should put like a lobster outfit or something and sit there complaining it's too hot.
I mean, that's my strat. I mean, if we do a hot tub stream, we'll get thousands of views, guys. This is they'll tune in just to watch us try on speedos and stuff.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'm
Like,
totally doing it.
honestly, I can imagine either of you just like standing there and like a bikini, like filling up the hot tub like this, like and someone, hey, what you doing? It's like, oh, man's gotta pay the bills. Gotta pay the bills.
You gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. You gotta do what you gotta do.
It'd be
and
like
if
that
I have to-
sometimes.
If I have
do
to
be
use
like
my
that
body,
sometimes.
I'm ready to use my body to make money if I have to do that. I mean,
Do you have a hot tub, Bedlam?
no,
Not yet.
No.
Not
not
yet.
yet.
Use a public
Yeah.
pool.
Maybe I can make the trek to you and we go and get like the cheapest inflatable one from Walmart or something. And
Yeah.
Yes.
Like raid Home Depot for an afternoon. Make a stream out of that where you go to Home Depot or something to buy the
Oh
hot tub.
yeah, like live stream us buying the
Oh.
hot tub.
yeah.
Yeah. I would do that. I'd do it I'd even give the money to charity. Oh, a hot tub sponsorship. That's a good idea. Yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
I would even give the money to charity if I did it. I would
So
totally do
streamers in the
that.
chat, write that down. Very, very good tips we're giving out here, and they're free.
Sterling Costco.
And I bet you Costco does sell hot tubs. They do. Yeah. And you know how much I love Costco tuner. You know that.
Talking about like hot tub streams and Costco live streams and whatever. I was wondering, what was your guys' most memorable streaming moment up to this point?
You want me to go?
Yeah,
go.
I've got
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I honestly, I've got a couple, but I think the one that sticks out is, it was. I know Ziff was playing with me, and if he's in chat, he's going to kill me. But Ziff was with me, and I think I was playing with like Scarlet Rosebloom, and Ziff, like I run modded arms race, and Ziff found this baby maker, and all of a sudden, like we're over by the Skag Den, and all of a sudden the health bar for Harker comes up on. What the heck's going on? And Ziff said, I have this wicked little baby maker and I want to try it out. And we all just kind of lost it. And then it hit him what he actually said, and we lost it even more.
Dude, phrasing.
It's all phrasing.
Yeah, there are a lot of guns in this game that phrasing can get you into a lot of troubles.
It can. I mean, I have a couple too. You know, I think one of the best. Well, I have a couple good moments. I mean, you know, the ones that always get me. One of the things that keeps me going and streaming is I feel like I'm making a difference in people's lives, and so, you know, when people come in and they say, "Hey, I was going through a dark time," and whatever, it was during the pandemic and I was all alone, and we tuned in and you guys got me through that, and I really appreciate that. Or, you know, this is like the best part of my day. Or, and you know, those comments, you know, like, "Throw myself in the grind." And, you know, you're like, it gets emotional because you put so much into it. And when you're making a difference in people's lives, that's really special. So, you know, massive hype trains, you know, the one time, I think, gosh, it was a 3,600% hype train or something. That was very memorable. That was emotional. You know, the first time I played with Tuner it wasn't emotional, but that was a good time, man. Remember when we did that first co-op together? And then I was like, okay, well, let's go in here and get this done and let's beat this. And he's like, yeah, I like how you're so confident about that. And I'm like, no, we'll be fine. And then it was with Dinah. It was Tuner and Dinah, and who else were we with? Do you remember that?
I don't know.
But it was, you know, it was a big lobby, 4-person lobby. We dropped into the water treatment plant, and then Rev spawned. I remember there were like 3 badass psychos. There were like 4 revs, and they're like, "Yeah, no way you're gonna get this done." I'm like, "No, we're fine. Don't worry about it. We're fine." It's like no immediate danger. And yes, we cleared it.
I was going to say, Dinah and I we haven't done one in a while, but we had like a command war going on for a while, and I've actually got the one that he made for me in my channel, but he spent 3 days of clipping and getting audio to line up. And basically it's me in this bear onesie, and it says, "Hey, Dinah, oh my God, I've got a chubby." Because in my stream, I had screamed out, "I've got a chubby," and it was one of the chubby Skags, and that has forever haunted me. So I've gotten him back, you know, once or twice on that one. So I actually have a picture of him in his Wendy's wig, from when he did the hunt. I think he raised like $3,000, and one of his things to get it up that high was that he would stream for a week in a Wendy's wig.
Yeah, it was with St. Jude, right?
And you had the chubby when he had the wig. Is that what do we say?
No. So what I ended up doing is I grabbed a screenshot of him and the him in that Wendy's wig, and I basically just did a screenshot, and in my channel, if I forget what I think it's like !Dinah or something. It'll pop up that picture of him in the Wendy's wig, and it says, "Welcome to Costco. I love you."
I saw that. It's hilarious.
It's almost like a Moxie and then Killer 6 fight, always on the Twitter of your mom jokes every time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a question for you guys, but more like Borderlands related, which is we all have our favorites. So tell me, what made you specialize in character you usually play? What's your favorite thing about the Vault Hunter you play the most?
Bedlam, do you want to go? Or do you want me to go?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I go first every time. I don't want to be
okay, that's fine. So on console, I actually have over 10 days and a flak, and
Hey, flak
when I came over to the flak main, And then when I came over to PC last October, I started an Amara. And I up until that point, I had never played the Siren. I had usually only stuck with one character. Like I didn't have multiple builds going or multiple characters that I'd been playing on, but I sort of stuck with Amara. And the more and more I got to learn about her, the ties that bind, I have learned to love that.
Yes.
That is just, you can clear a room with it, or you could come close to clearing a room with it if you use it right. I don't really have a favorite build of hers though, because I play so much arms race that when I go through the game, I just kind of take off the mayhem because I just want to have some fun and not die every 30 seconds. So, but yeah, it's with Amara and the ties that bind, and then with Flak, the fadeaway, the fadeaway you could do some serious damage with as well.
Oh, I love it when you talk dirty, Tuner.
Oh
yes,
yeah,
talk Amara to me.
Talk Amara to
you know why? Because Amara's the best, Sam. Amara is the best character. She's the best character in the game. That's it. Period. No, but I do love Amara, and I played I played Siren because I actually did not play Siren in the other games. So the other games, because Damsel was always the Siren, or my son decided to be the Siren. So just and I played all the other characters, but I just usually just stayed away from them just to balance the game out. So when we played co-op, they were all they had Sirens, they were Sirens, and I played something else. And so I figured, oh, okay, well, Borderlands 3 comes out, I'm going to be a Siren, and Dan's like, oh, I'm like, you play Siren on all of them. So that was why I picked Amara Life. Yes. Always Amara. And I do like looking pretty. Yes, I do. Come on,
Bullseye's stripper Zane scares me.
Oh God. Yeah.
Is it wrong? I just want to be pretty.
No, what's wrong with it? And also I can get it runs in the family, right? Everyone have to play Sirens at some point, I see.
That's right.
Okay, my other question for you guys is a thing that is often discussed in the community, which is, are you satisfied with the story in Borderlands 3? And if not, is there anything you would like to change about the story that would improve it?
You want me to go?
Okay, you go.
Okay, I feel like I've been a little unfair to the writers. I really have. So in the past, I've been very critical of the story, but the more I've thought about this, a video game is a work of art, and it's a work of art from a collaboration of like hundreds of people, and so the meaning is subjective and the quality is subjective. And to say, to criticize it, I don't know. I mean, to compare it to the other games, I think it's a little unfair. I've been unfair in the past, and I've said that, and I've kind of apologized. I think that the story is good, and if you just picked up Borderlands 3 and you're not comparing it, it's you can't compare like whatever the Mona Lisa to something else. It is what it is. Borderlands 2 is what it is, and that is a work of art. Borderlands 1's a work of art. The graphics, the audio. I mean, even the audio in the behind the scenes footage. That's amazing that they put that much time into it. It's unbelievable. So this is, in every sense of the word, a work of art. So Borderlands 3 is its own set work of art, and this is their expression of whatever message they were trying to communicate. So, I mean, it is what it is. I don't think that it's bad. I don't want to say that it's fantastic. For me, I mean, other people think it's good. Personally, I can say that it's good, but I don't like it that much. But it's still good. You follow me? Like, it can be good without everyone liking it. Just like a work of art moves you. It moves some people, it doesn't move other people. Other people think they really like this, they want to hang in their house, and other people don't want to hang it in their house. So I probably wouldn't hang it in my house, but I can still acknowledge it as being a good work of art.
Some things shine on their own, but if you put them next to others, they're just kind of bleak. The same like the powers of Vault Hunters. Like Amara is pretty strong on her own, pretty good character, but compared damage-wise to other characters, she's pretty weak. But on her own, she still creates content, and she's a great character.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same with the story. And for you, Marine?
I love the story. Some of the one-liners that they have thrown into the game crack me up every time I hear them. I forget which one that says it. It may be even multiple bad guys that say it, but the one-liner where they go, "I came into this world the same way I'm going out of this world the same way I came into it,
That's
pissing
good.
and shitting." Love that
Yeah.
one-liner, but
Okay.
but I mean, as far as like the actual story goes, I love the story. I don't understand why people hate Ava so much. I mean, to me, she's just your typical 13,
Yeah.
14-year-old. I mean, I've got a 13-year-old daughter who cries about everything sometimes. So I don't understand it with her. The only thing that I would really change about the game is the go talk to Lilith.
Oh, you
The
just
number of times the number of times that you have to go do that, and it's like she just sends you right back to the same damn place.
The number of times is probably 28. I still am on the way to confirm it because I'm actually counting in the game. But all the talk to Lilith, speak to Lilith, talk to Lilith and speak to Lilith, those 2 lines, 28 times. But I will confirm it after a couple next streams. But please continue.
Yeah, I don't.
Can we just buy them
I
cell
would-
phones? Right?
I mean, we
I
do
would
have
buy
an
them
Echo
phones,
device.
like-
I do not know why we don't use it. Like,
Sat phones or something, right?
Yeah, I don't understand why we can't turn the mission into her via the Echo and call it a day and save us, 10 minutes of
yeah,
going to Sanctuary and running all the way across the damn thing and then all the way back and
Yeah.
honestly,
I
I
hear
have
you.
a hot take on this. I think this is made for newer players to the series because, like, Borderlands 3 got a lot of new players in that have not played Borderlands 2 because the game Borderlands was 7 years old at this point.
Right, right.
And they use this to be like, hey, why don't you go back to like your main hub, sell some things, do some things, and like here's your last loot and everything. You use the stuff. Here's the reason too, and while not as often, like there's still a lot of that in Borderlands 2 where you have to like go back to talk to Roland or talk to anyone else, and in Sanctuary it's just that it doesn't feel as static because Sanctuary like it's bloody teleported to the other end of the world at one point.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's probably why. Yeah, I think they did that just for that reason. I think they did that to get people, because the game was so old. There was such a long time between games that I think they tried to familiarize people with the characters and everything as Sanctuary. And yeah, I think that's probably it. But yeah, let's buy them cell phones.
I think the main problem with Talk to Lilith thing, the main issue is that in Sanctuary, for example, in Borderlands 2, to get from the place you teleport to Roland was like moments. And on Sanctuary, you have to run through all the ship. So that's a very long road, and you feel like, oh my god, I have to run all the ship all over again. It
and
just
if you have an
feels
NPC,
mundane.
and if you have an NPC blocking the stairs or a doorway, you're shit out of luck. Like you've got to find another way or back away, and so they can mosey on down the stairs or get out of the doorway. The only other thing that I would hope they would add to it is what happened to Zed. Where's Dr. Zed?
I want to be able to shoot NPCs.
He was probably one of my more favorite NPCs in all of the Borderlands, and he's not in this game. And yeah, I'd like to know what happened to him.
Yeah, Zed's dead, baby. Zed's dead.
Killed by his brother Ned.
Oh no.
Killed Ned.
Or maybe he actually went to get his medical degree, and Borderlands 4 will get actual doctor. Who knows?
Yeah, that's what Sam just said. He's taking his PhD somewhere.
Yeah, like I see it in front of my eyes. DLC 7. Okay? You start out, get a call from Dr. Zed. He's like, hey, yeah, so I was doing my medical degree, and my final project was to create something living, and so I did, and now it's rampage into the city. Shoot it.
Totally. Someone
So
needs to
like
bring that
the
guy in.
thing.
Yeah. Someone that could totally happen. I could see that. I'd be on board with that.
I would
Take
too.
over full gearbox.
Yeah.
Or he revived Cromarax or something.
Oh, you're just like that.
Again.
Yeah, like again.
I do. I want to shoot the NPCs blocking my doorway. That's what I want to do. I want to shoot those guys.
We had Dex making a mod that builds this little bridge in Guardian Takedown that lets you skip the platforming. Maybe he'll next mod will be like, bridge over Sanctuary to get to Lilith faster. Who knows?
Oh,
Honestly,
Hams will
it
be
would
happy to
already
hear that.
be so good if there was just like, an additional staircase in the middle, so you didn't have to go left or right, and you can just go straight forward,
Yeah.
space out while you do so. But
Or
yeah.
put a spawn point on the bridge.
Oh yeah, or like that.
Or
That-
or that.
I mean,
yeah.
I wouldn't care if it was in the middle of the room. Put it somewhere on the bridge.
Yeah, on the thing itself.
I mean, this would be good for story, but then you get to the end game and you want just quick get to the bank, get to the Marcus, and that would be again counterproductive because you have to run all the way for the ship every time to switch your gear to pick up gear you dropped and stuff. So
And they could have two.
this spawn makes sense for the end game, but not for the story. I guess like this was the point why they put it there and not the other side.
If you put that spawn point there, Tuner, how is Amara going to keep her six-pack? I think she stays in shape, sprinting all over Sanctuary, back and forth, like running around, like getting things done. That's how she gets her. That's how she gets her steps in every day.
Hell yeah.
How's she gonna? Yeah, how's she gonna stay trim and lean and bad? I had to do that. I love the beaming.
Minus 2% body fat, gang.
Right, that's right. Okay.
Talking about changes and things that you guys would change. I want to ask you guys, what weapon or item in general, it can also be like an artifact or something, would you guys buff or nerf, and by how much? Approximately, like is there something?
Oh, I would double the damage on the plasma coil.
Oh yeah,
That's what I would do. I
That's
would just
not- that's not
totally
very
buff the
safe.
plasma
Power
coil.
creep.
The
Yeah.
poor thing is. No, I'm now I'm joking. I know everybody says that.
Buff
I'm
the
kidding.
damage
I
on
would
the
not
plasma
buff the
coil.
plasma coil. I'm joking.
How to
I
trigger
think
whole chat with one sentence like this.
Yeah, like just give the plasma call. It's inbuilt revolter.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yes, I would say. Well, it is. I was just joking. But the plasma coil is ridiculous. I mean, between the magazine size, the reload speed, the fire rate, and the damage, yeah. I mean, we could take that down a notch. We could take that down a notch. Oh, buff the crossfit.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with that one. We could knock down the plasma coil a little bit. Honestly, I don't know if it would be a buff. And anybody who watches me knows how much I love this gun, but the lob.
Yeah.
I would like to see those balls move a little bit faster, because when I'm playing arms race with that, like I don't care if I've got like the world's most badass gun and an arms race. If I've got a lob, I'm using it.
Just somebody clip
And-
that. Please clip that. Tuner wants to see balls move faster. You heard it here.
Move balls. Yeah, move.
That's exactly.
Have the
he wants
balls
to see
move
blue
faster.
Balls move faster. He said it. Somebody clip that. We need to put.
You need a proof for that? Okay.
So it's one of my favorite guns, and usually when I'm using it, I you know what? There's no way to say this without it coming in its context here, but I kind of spread the balls out to kind of hit everything. So
he puts the balls all over everything.
it puts the balls all
That's what he
over
does.
everything.
So long story short, you just want return of the lob. I see. Okay.
Return
With all
of the
means
lob. And
necessary. Yes.
That was one of my
You know-
favorite guns, man. When that came, that was one of my favorite guns.
I didn't like it the first time I got it. I'm like, God, these move slow. And then I got it in arms race when I started doing the mod stuff, and I'm like, this gun is fucking awesome. Let's go.
Like honestly though, I also had to warm up a lot to like the alien barrel kind of guns, because like the ones with the alien thing, those that shoot the balls, like all of them. I mean, maybe because the first interaction I had with them was the Malak Spain, and this was even bad in patch 1.0. It was just always has been horrible. So like I was like kind of turned off by that, but it's like recently in speedruns when I get a lob, I'm like, yes.
Right?
Just one-shot stuff.
I remember when
Right?
like Klopp had this high time when everyone was using it, and we had the hashtag going all over the Discord with spread the lob, and people started to do like this. One of our users made like put an anime face girl on the lob, and it was like everywhere. So we're
I love
spreading the
that.
lob.
Yes, I love that. And wow, I can't even imagine that the Hell Shock had splash damage. Oh my gosh. A splash damage.
That would be stupid.
That would be
that
broken.
would just straight.
Oh,
Yeah,
that would be so right.
Yeah, I'll just take my idea for nerf. Just take away splash damage entirely. Just Mo's in the trash. Away with her.
And everybody should play Amara.
Like we have
or Flak.
We've progressed
Okay, I like
past
that
need of
idea.
splash damage. It's okay. No more.
Oh, Chevy is right. I could play on invincible mode and still die.
Yeah.
That's
like me in the Hellwalker in arms race. You know that. It's the kiss of death for me. If I get a Hellwalker in arms race, I'm gonna die for sure. Get a little cocky, get a little full of myself, and I'm like, I'm invincible. I cannot die now. And then I'm like,
Boom,
every room
dead.
is mine. I have become death. And then I died. Shortly after that, it's like a matter of 30 seconds later. I'm like, oh, did that guy just kill me? And then I'm dead. And then I get trolled.
You know what they
Mercilessly.
say? Like, confidence is a slow and insidious killer.
It is.
It is.
And maybe that's why I like Amara too, because she's so humble. I like it.
Hell yeah.
Very humble.
Right.
Talk about I always start my sentence with talking about. Transition to the next question. I want to know, do you like how the skill trees are designed in terms of previous games? Like how Borderlands, because you guys have played 1, 2, 3, taking out TPS, even though it had excellent tree management. What do you think how the skill trees have progressed, and do you think they're well designed now compared to other to the former titles?
You want me to answer it? You go.
I mean, I don't do a whole lot of building in Borderlands, but just like comparing them from what they were in Borderlands 1 versus what they are now, I think they are a lot more diversified, and if you get the right gear and the right character and play around with the builds enough, I think I think for the most part it is better. It's still don't understand the fourth skill tree on some of them, but it is what it is.
You're just like, I'm gonna move on.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna move on.
I saw the question and I'm like, immediately it came to my head. I'm like, I don't do a whole lot of builds. I mean, I've gotten a couple of builds from other Borderlands players, and when I ran Guardian Takedown, I ended up using Zifnab's Bitch Slap Amara before they nerfed her again. And I like that one, but I mean, as far as going in and actually doing my own build, it's just not something that interests me. I feel like we've got enough streamers now that do the builds and have the time to actually go and play the game with how they've got builds configured and skills, and I just don't have the time for that. And that's why I said earlier, when I play the story mode, I take Mayhem off and just run around with a plasma coil or a lob or a Hellwalker or a light show or anything. So,
well, Tuna, when you're as pretty as you are, you don't have to do builds, man. You just show up and people flock to watch.
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, the thing is, there's always a room to learn and improve. On our server, I see every day a new players come over. I have no idea how builds work. I need help. And they usually start with grabbing ready-made builds we have there, suggested. Mm-hmm. And then they start to ask, but why this? Why that? And you can see them learning bit by bit, skill by skill, and getting, oh, that's why I choose that. So there is always a room to learn a bit better, and there's always a way to go easy on it, get used to it, comfortable with it, and then work on something on your own from that point of where you stop. What about you, Bryan?
I think that's good. I mean, I agree with that. I think that they're a little complicated. I don't find them complicated, but I think if you're new to the game, I think the barrier to entry is kind of high, So the first couple games, if you're just picking this up, there's a ton of people who are like, oh, I really haven't played the games in the franchise, or I've never played Borderlands 3 before. And then they jump in and they're like, you know, holy this skill tree is crazy, right? And you know, and what are annoyance? And do I have to play true Vault Hunter mode, or you know, what mayhem mode should it be on? So between annoyance and between, I mean, all of this, it's a high barrier to entry to people who are just jumping in the game for the very first time, is what I'm saying. So I mean, I think it's awesome, and if you're real deep into the game and you've got thousands of hours, you know, into the game, then it's cool, it's fine. But I mean, for those casual players, they're going to jump in on like a Friday or a Saturday. I think that it's asking a lot for them to grasp, you know, and fully optimize everything without going and using someone else's build. But then if they go use someone else's build, it's good to get them in the door, I guess, as far as getting into the game, but they're not getting the full experience of the game, which I think long term might mean that they're not going to play the game as much, or the game might not live as long for them. You know what I mean? Because it won't be as satisfying if they go grab some build off YouTube or in the Borderlands server or whatever. They go grab it and then they just wreck everything, and then they don't appreciate what they've done. You know what I mean? I mean, that's what I'm thinking. So I think they could probably simplify it a little bit. I don't know how you would do that. I guess I would be working on the game if I knew how to do that, but
I mean, for example,
that's my take.
If there was a better understanding of how, for example, damage works, like, because some people think like, oh, I put those two skills together, it works great, but turns out that math-wise, there is FAU1 and FAU2 damage, and they don't work with each other. So people don't, like, if people don't really sit to it and learn it, they don't know it's even a thing. I was like, okay, those two skills give me damage, it should work together, right? And yeah, maybe those kind of stuff could be made much easier. Okay, I have some questions that are like directly to you guys. I'll start with a question for Bryan, which is, what keeps you so hyped during your streams every day?
You know, I'm actually like this all the time as Damsel. I'm like, actually, you know, that's actually just how I am. I don't know. I mean, I'm happy to be there. Like I said, I'm amped that people want to play games with me, or they want to hang out with me, and I get to chat with all these people, and I've made all kinds of new friends. I think that's amazing, and I'm hyped. I'm hyped to be there. I'm just hyped for life. It's as lame as that is. It's kind of like, you know, as much as I talk now, this is how I talk when I get off stream. So by the end of the week, my voice is kind of crapped out a little bit. Like, it's kind of crapped out now, and I've kind of got to let it rest. And, you know, I can't stop talking. I was that kid who always got in trouble at school for talking during class and like leaning over, and, you know, I was totally that kid. I talked all the time, and yeah, it's just a good fit, the streaming thing. It's a good fit for me.
Yeah, just talk whenever it happens on screen. I'm getting crashed. Okay, I'm gonna talk more.
Yeah. And you know, so I tell people, they're like, dude, how do you always have something to say? I'm like, okay, so you know that natural filter in your head? Yeah, I just turned mine off. I just uninstalled that, and I just say just whatever comes to mind, I just let it go. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, I shouldn't have said that, but whatever.
Bedlam, you're 10 pounds of sugar in a 5-pound bag.
Yes, I appreciate that. Thank you, man.
That's not gonna end well. Not always, yeah. But hey, even if you say whatever you want, it's something stupid, that's always a new clip for you after stream, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, Marine, I have a question for you also. What's the story behind your outfit, behind your onesie you have?
I saw a couple of other streamers doing it,
Mm-hmm.
and I figured, why not? And since my logo is actually the picture of a bear, it wasn't too hard to find something on Amazon that would fit me, because I'm 6'3" and 325 pounds.
Damn.
And even this is, it's still kind of tight in a couple of spaces, but you can't see it on stream. Like right now, the legs are like halfway up my shins because I keep fidgeting. But I wore it on stream. I think it was Christmas Eve or Christmas Day or something. It was sometime around Christmas, and it kind of blew up. And every once in a while, I will wear it. In fact, I did one when Dinah reached his $3,000 raised for St. Jude's. I said I would do a 12-hour stream in this if they hit it, and I was very thankful. It was 40 degrees out that day, because 12 hours in this thing, it's like I've got my air conditioning on right now, and I'm burning up. So
Well, so I've seen MarineTuner's closet. That's a partial truth. He actually has an entire closet full of onesies. He's got tuxedo onesies. He's got the whole. This is like his jam. So he actually, it's all a show. He puts normal clothes on for stream and then
For
like
stream, and
changes
then
into the onesie to make it sound
Now-
like he doesn't only wear onesie. Literally, fact, he wears onesies all the time.
now
That's all he wears.
I have worn this in public on
Yes.
multiple occasions. So the first time, like, I went to one of my friend's house and they told us that we needed to wear ugly sweaters, and I'd just gotten this thing. And what they didn't tell me is they needed to go to like this warehouse and pick up some auction items that they had won. And I'm like, I'm not going out in public in this. Like, there's no way in hell I'm doing that.
Too late.
So I went out in public in this and kind of got over that initial fear. In fact, the picture in Discord is actually my best friend. He's they've got like this flat pull cart, and I was like, I'm not walking around in this. And I just sat down. I was like, you're going to pull me. He pulled me most of the way around that store or that warehouse. And then when
I wish I had a
Scarlett
picture
came
of that.
here, what?
I want to see a picture of that. I want
I
to
can
see you
send it to
inside
you.
of a grocery cart. I want to see you in the grocery cart in the onesie, and I want to push you around Costco in the grocery cart in the onesie.
While
Especially
you
at-
I
shopping
wore
for
it-
the hot tubs, huh?
Exactly.
So what? So Scarlett Rosebloom actually lives about 4 hours from me, and I went to Micro Center one day, and I was actually picking up a second monitor for stream because it was my OCD was kicking in that I didn't have matching monitors. So I was going to pick up another matching monitor, and I was there like an hour after the store opened. And this is the store that regularly gets shipments of the 30 series graphics cards. And since I was a dumbass and I saw a 3070 on the shelf and walked away, and didn't go back and get it, that's another command in my stream. When I was there picking up the monitor, they still had a line at like an hour after the store opened. So I went up to the manager and I was like, hey, how many of these cards do you have? And he told us they had 100 plus of these cards, of the 3060 and the 3070. And I'm like, I know enough people on Twitch. I am not walking out here without one of these damn cards. And I'd gotten Bullseye's phone number, except he mistyped one of the numbers and it didn't go to him. So I ended up calling Zifnab, and he got me in touch with Scarlett, who said, yes, I want one of these cards. So after about an hour and a half of trying to buy this card, I had to jump through a few hoops because I just bought my 3060 from there. So there was like some 30-day waiting period that I needed to go through. Ended up having to have one of my friends come down. There were other fiascos, but she finally came and picked it up last month. And we went to actually the store that I bought it because she was going to get some other computer parts for her stream. And I said, do I need to wear the onesie? She's like, yes. So there's actually a picture on Twitter of her and I, and she's in her penguin onesie and I'm in this bear onesie. And she had met one of her viewers there to give them some of her bloom butter or her peanut butter. And her husband and I, Tree Olives, just walked into the store, and I immediately started getting stares from people. And when Scarlett walked in, she didn't say, hey, have you seen, a tall guy and another tall guy? She said, where'd the bear go? And the guy literally just like, they went that way.
Dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. And who walks away from a 3070 on a shelf in the middle of the pandemic when you're buying like exactly
This dumbass.
You're like, oh wait, a 3070
Which is why chat is doing 3070 right now is because
I'd rather pay 5 times retail for it on eBay or something. No.
That was the one thing I wouldn't do is pay scalper prices for a video card.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
Yeah, see, they're calling me out in chat right now, and I can see it.
I know. Yes, who does that? Well, anyway, like I said, I why did I always picture you? I actually have not met Tuner in person. I have not been in his closet, so I cannot confirm the presence of, tuxedo onesies and onesies of all different colors and varieties. I actually don't know that to be a fact. I just imagine that. I don't know why I always managed you being like, I don't know, 5'8" or 5'10".
No, I'm 6'3", and I'm a big dude.
So yeah, I want to see that. I want to see you sitting in a grocery cart in the onesie, and I want to push you around Costco. In the, can you imagine what people would say? That'd be great.
I might be persuaded to actually let you do that. I don't think I'll be able to have my daughter with me because she'll be like, "Oh my God, Dad, I can't believe you're doing that."
Yeah, I have no shame. Yeah, I lost that a long time ago.
Yeah, for the most part, I don't either.
Man.
Okay, go ahead.
This is seriously a story. Like, there are a lot of 3070s in chat now.
Oh yeah. I mean, I plan on going live not too long after this ends, and I mean, pop into chat and hit it, and picture Red Foreman will pop up, and it'll be his voice going, "Dumbass."
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like, who does that? You come back, you're like, oh, so wait, should I have picked that up? Should I have got that 3070 on the shelf? Is that something I should have gotten?
Oh no.
You're like,
oh no.
Yeah, it was.
It is bad.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was a pretty stupid. It was a pretty stupid mistake on my part, or a bad mistake on my part. So,
I mean, it happens, like live and let it live. But to relieve you from this experience, and to continue with the silliness, of course, my next question is gonna be: I want to hear from you the best gun in the entire series, and a reason why. But here's the point. Here's the kicker: only bad answers. Bad answers only.
bad answers only.
Yeah.
I'm going with the kettle burger. I'm going with the launcher shoots burgers.
That's a pretty good point. Well, why is it the best gun in the entire game?
It shoots burgers. It's got Five Guys. It's got Five Guys references, and man, I love that. Yeah, I love stuffing myself with Five Guys.
Like, man, Five Guys
Love
is one
that.
of those names that I think, like, this is very homoerotic for no reason in particular. I'm not from America.
Well, in Europe, you don't have Five Guys, do you?
Yeah, we don't have Five Guys. We may be getting
That's
one
it.
at one point because these brands always find their way over here. But like, like as someone who's from Europe and you hear Five Guys for the first time, you're like, yep, this sounds like a category somewhere.
Yep, you have not lived until you've stuffed yourself with Five Guys.
Just, yeah. and if you you've stuffed yourself with Five Guys, don't make the same mistake I did the first time I had Five Guys and order a large fry. That was a mistake.
One large fry? Was it like this?
So what it is? So their fries come in like it's like a cup you get at like McDonald's or any other fast food restaurant. It's like a 20-ounce cup. So they put those fries in that cup and put it in the bag. And then what they don't show you is they take the damn scoop or another cup and just dump more fries in it.
They're really generous.
Exactly.
Really
their fries are enough to feed a family of 4.
They really
if you get their large ones. Like, I have a hard time finishing off their small one, which is like a little 8-ounce cup, because they take that cup and just dump more fries into the bag, and it's like you get so many fries.
How many calories is that? Like, I don't know. Like,
you don't want to look at that.
I'm currently on a bulk, and it's like I have like 2.8K until to 3K, and it's like I guess if I got those fries, it would be enough for a day and a half.
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally in the bulking phase right now. I've been in the bulking phase for
years.
Yeah, it's been about a couple of years now. I mean, I'm bulking, building muscle and just bulk. I'm in the bulking phase. Eventually I'll be in the cutting phase, but yeah. So I love Five Guys.
Oh yeah. Like I managed to already have the weight. I just need to find ways to get it from there to here.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah.
But yeah, MarineTuner. What's your answer for the best gun in the entire series?
There's so many horrible ones.
Yeah, we don't want to hear about those ones here. Good ones, of course.
Oh, good ones.
Like the tribal or something.
The tribal. Actually, I'm wanting to say the one pump chump, but there's so many ways that can go.
First Five Guys, now one pump chump, guys. What is this?
Yeah,
what's happening here?
It's turned into an ASMR stream. Yeah, the tri-bolt's pretty bad.
The knife flare is kind of funny too, man. The Batman gun.
See, this is where I struggle as a Borderlands streamer. Is I see the guns and I like the bad ones. I just don't remember them. The Infinity pistol's coming to mind, but I mean, you never run out of ammo, so you can still do damage with that. I'm gonna stick with the one pump chump. I mean, it's
fitting. It
Hellwalker
Why is
esque.
it fast? Because it pumps one chump, or
Yeah, it just pumps one chump.
okay. So here you had it, ladies and gentlemen. The best weapons in the entire series are 5 guys and the one that pumps chump.
That's it. That's right. Yep. You haven't lived until you've been stuffed by 5 guys. Yep.
Clock res. Oh,
Being pumped by one.
clock res is the clock res is horrible.
Yeah, the clockwork res, like the clockwork res sounds like a very good thing on paper.
And practice.
Yeah.
I play solo. This is garbage to me.
Exactly.
And Sam said the hyperhydrator. I actually used that gun for the first time the other night, and oh my god, I immediately threw it back on the ground and started using whatever white weapon it was that I had at the time.
Is this like the one you get in mail at the beginning of the game, and for like the water pistol from?
Yeah, I think does it shoot bubbles?
No, it shoots like water and or shock, and you can swap like.
Oh, okay.
The thing is, this is actually a very great weapon for like if you try to speedrun, because it's better than your run of the mill first flat off, and it can one shot headshot at the beginning of the game, but you throw it away almost immediately once you get like your first like level 3 weapon or something, because it has a high base damage but horrible other stats. There's also like a nerf gun. Anyways,
I'm all offense, man. I don't do defense. I don't do clockwork res. I'm gonna go mix it up. I'm freaking going in guns blazing.
Yeah, I like that too.
Oh yeah, I know. I've watched you run straight into the murder cane. Like, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. To go like kill something real quick, and then we're fine. Half the time he's not fine.
We'll go start a room. We'll start a room in the murder cane. Well, we've done that. And people are like, dude, we can't do that. I'm like, we can do this. We'll be fine. No immediate danger.
Yeah,
We'll be
so
fine.
one of the channel point redemptions I have on my channel is it's called Arms Race, and basically what it is as long as you get us before we start or pick a room and go, it allows the viewer to tell me which room they want me to go to. So, and a lot of times, every time that has been used, it's been like run tizzy. I think the best one I got was J94 used it when I first started putting it up, and we would drop in, he would redeem it and go Harker.
And
straight to the point.
Straight. Yeah, it was straight to the point. We would drop in, pick up what crappy guns we had, and run and do Harker. And as big of a pain in the butt as it is to fight Harker with the starting weapons, it was still a lot of fun. So,
Grumpy, so you like speedrunning? That's a new idea for the speedrun rider. Speedrun the arms race.
That's right.
I think there's one. I've seen it. I've seen Quack do it, and like or someone else would like. Basically, what you do is like you drop in. You see if you drop right next to Harker, and you need to get like a URAD weapon from the cache, which is very rare. But if you do, you can just go down there and shoot him URAD. It takes of all the work. I think it took like 17 seconds. It's like the record. It's
oh my gosh,
absolutely amazing. Like they drop in, grab the things, go down, URAD activates, done.
And dude, I love playing like that, man. That's how I like to play. So I like the bad guns, and because like I said, we started out casually playing, so that was why I'm all about gameplay. So I want to pick stuff up, and I want to spec into whatever I'm picking up. I was never really that into farming. I mean, I get it, but that's just I didn't have time for that when we first started playing. So I'm all about arms race, man. That is like that totally plays into my strengths, and I love picking stuff up and just killing stuff with whatever I have on hand.
Hell yeah.
So I would jump into Harker. I'd jump into Harker with a freaking like.
I have primarily streamed nothing. You and I primarily stream Arms Race. I mean, with the dailies now, I'll start the stream and start going and doing some of the dailies if I know where exactly where I need to go. But other than that, it's straight Arms Race, and I've done some of the mods, and the one idea that I picked up from Big Bullseye is we can increase the chances of getting legendaries in Arms Race, but that kind of makes it zero fun. And he made a very good point. Is he activated 2 of the events, and one of them was the cartel, and even with the legendaries, it's not always guaranteed that we're going to live through Arms Race. I mean, because you could kill the Revenants, and then all of a sudden you've got 4 more sitting there waiting for you. The only thing I would change about Arms Race is introduce more maps. I wish they would introduce more maps for Arms Race, and even if it's just randomly you get sent to Pandora or Eden 6 or Necrodefeo.
We had some ideas
I
about
think
this,
that
like in previous episodes here, like idea of turning electricity to arms race, or for example, do a new takedowns like TD or Film Takedown or COV.
Yeah.
So yeah, those things could
If
happen.
they do another takedown, if there's platforming in it, I will not like it because I can't platform.
Yeah, like Borderlands 3 is a shooter. It's not a platformer. This is not Super Mario. This is not Sonic Forces.
But if I wanted to be that.
Yes, see, Grumpy, that's why I love you, man. Agreed. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have a problem with it, but I feel awfully bad for Damsel. Damsel's everywhere struggle. I'm gonna make a commercial. We're gonna set up a charity for Damsel's platform challenge to Damsels of Destruction.
Damsel in distress.
Yep. We're gonna set that up for just 8 cents a day. You too. But yeah, that's hilarious. I think, what if they did like what they do with the Seer, and they made part of Arms Race map the Stormblind Complex like dark? That would be fun, right? You got the murder cane, and then they make it like dark, like at certain points, like the light comes in and out, kind of like when you're fighting the Seer.
It would be very interesting, but personally, I would hate this. I hated it in this. I hated it in DLC 6. I spent a good 10 minutes just looking for her. Like, I am where it says I should be. What's happening? And like,
yeah,
if it's better indicated and better telegraphed, sure. But like, but you know, looking at you like talking about future content and everything, I'm gonna ask you one more question, which is, where do you think the franchise is heading towards, and do you think it's heading into the right direction as of right now? A very philosophical question, I know. On the one hand, there are the purple trees. On the other hand, there's everything else.
I don't, like I said, I mean, back to the other, I mean, they're almost, you know, the way the games are made, they're almost standalone games. You know, I mean, and there's so much time between the games that, yeah, you'll enjoy them more if you play the other ones, but, you know, they're almost standalone games. No, I think they're heading in the right direction. I do. I think they're headed in the right direction. I think with the changes they've made, not that I agree with all of them, the drop rates and that kind of thing, but I think that they understand, you know, some of the mistakes that they might have made with the third one, and I think they're trying to rectify those mistakes now, which is, you know, admirable. That's awesome. And so I think going forward, I think we can expect any new titles to adjust accordingly, you know. So I think it's headed in a good direction.
Yeah, I think they are too, and then it kind of makes me wonder, what did they want to do in Borderlands 2 that they couldn't due to hardware restrictions, or it wasn't possible to code something into the game, or something like that they're now able to do with Borderlands 3. I do think they're heading in the right direction. I mean, surely they've realized that they're not going to be able to please everyone. Like I said earlier with Ava, I don't get why people hate her. I mean, it's part of the story arc. And I just forgot what I was saying, but yeah, it's part of the story arc. It is what it is. I think they've done an excellent job progressing the franchise as far as they have. I mean, let's face it, we're almost 2 years after launch of Borderlands 3, and they're still, you know, they just put out more content for it. I mean, I sure hope they put out, you know, content for year 3. I mean, that would be freaking awesome, to kind of hold us over until, you know, Borderlands 4, whatever they call it, comes out.
He hinted at that.
But who?
On Twitter.
Randy, yeah.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was something that we don't know what's it yet. But for now, we wait for crossplay at least. If that is coming for Borderlands 4.
Yeah.
That is the one thing I wish they would have done, and I realize it's not entirely up to Gearbox, that they have to deal with Sony and Microsoft, but like, for me, Borderlands 3 holds a little bit of a special meaning for me, because like my better half, we live 400 miles apart, and we actually got to know each other playing Borderlands. And
it's beautiful.
I absolutely love this game, and everything that it kind of stands for. I mean, yeah, it's got its quirks, but I mean, everything's not going to be perfect with the video game, and they're not gonna be able to play or please everybody. But I wish to God they would just enable crossplay. That would make my life so much easier.
Yeah. And that's definitely something we're all gonna look forward to. Well, I want to thank you guys for joining us here tonight for the interview. It was a pleasure to have you here tonight. Before we finish it and wrap it up, I want to ask if you want to add something. Tell us where we can find you, what time you stream. You want to say hi to your mods, friends? We can start with Bryan.
Well, of course, Damsel of Destruction is what keeps the whole engine running. She's critical to everything that we do. So thank you so much for being awesome. So I stream overnight. So I start at midnight and I go to like 4 a.m. 4 to 5 a.m. usually. So you can catch me Eastern time. That is Eastern Daylight Time right now. So I'm on the overnight hours. I usually catch a lot of European viewers more than American viewers. At least I catch the people on the West Coast probably, but East Coast by then most people are getting to bed, and so that's what I'm on. Of course, Twitch. Of course, Twitter. We're still getting our feet under us in social media, so but I do appreciate the follows.
I'm horrible at the Twitter.
We all start somewhere with all the social medias. And how about you, Tuner? You want to add something to himself?
Yeah, so actually all my mods, J94, Chevy, Dinah, Ziff, Zeus, even Big Bullseye,
even Big Bullseye.
Even Big Bullseye. I love Big Bullseye to death. Even though he will jump into my chat midstream and call me a dumbass and then jump right back out. Still love him. The times I stream, usually I'm on Monday, Friday, and Saturday. I will throw in an occasional day after 6 p.m. through the week. I've mentioned it on stream. I kind of just do this for fun and after work, and I do have some stuff in real life that sometimes goes on after work that I volunteered to do. So usually Monday, Friday, and Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern time. And I usually run for 3 or 4 hours, if not longer.
Okay, thank you so much for spending this evening here with us. If any of you tuned in too late or didn't catch the whole of the stream today, it's gonna be posted soon on our YouTube channel, as always. And I'm gonna say thank you so much. Thank you everyone who joined us here today in the chat. It was lovely to have you guys here. And we're gonna see you in 2 weeks on our next episode. In the meantime, I hope you have a great weekend, and thank you so much for joining us here. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey.
Bye-bye.